So we go beyond genome editing and we're focused on genome regulation. And what's really great about it is that we're not actually having permanent mutations in the genome, so it's safer. It also actually only works close to the promoter region of the gene as well.
BioNeex is the first biopharma R&D open exchange platform for licensing and co-development partnerships of drug candidates. We are working closely with biopharmaceutical companies that are actively seeking preclinical and clinical stage drug candidates for in-licensing and co-development partnerships to expand their R&D pipelines. If you are a development stage biotech company and are looking for licensing and co-development partners for your drug candidates, then list them for free on BioNeex and get contacted directly by these biopharmaceutical companies. We are already working with many partners. Would you like to learn more about BioNeex? Feel free to get in touch with us. We look forward to working with you.
Hello everyone, we are back today again at BioNeex interview with founder and CEO of Navega Therapeutics, Dr. Anna Moreno. Hello, Dr. Moreno. It's great to having you today.
Hi, Samad. Thank you for having me. It's a great opportunity. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you. Navega Therapeutics is a San Diego-based preclinical stage biotech company developing novel gene therapies for neurological disorders, ophthalmic diseases, and chronic pain. Please, Anna, tell us about Navega Therapeutics a little bit more and what makes this development stage biotech company so unique.
Sure. So we're actually spin out at the University of California, San Diego. There, actually, as part of my PhD, I was focused on developing a platform using a variant of CRISPR called ZCAS9. So we go beyond genome editing and we're focused on genome regulation. And what's really great about it is that we're not actually having permanent mutations in the genome, so it's safer. It also actually only works close to the promoter region of the gene as well. So also you have less issues of off-target effects. And so we're really excited about this platform. I demonstrated a really exciting proof of concept for retinitis pigmentosa as well as for chronic pain. And right now we're focused on growing the team and actually bringing these drugs into the market.
Very good, thank you. You just mentioned a platform that you developed. Can you tell us a little bit more about your proprietary platform technology and current drug development pipeline and what kind of therapeutic candidates are currently there and in which indications?
Sure. So the technology is focused on this variant of CRISPR, as I mentioned. It's called ZCAS9, dead because it has no nucleus activity. We go about and have repressors, and what that does is that it blocks the DNA polymerase from expressing the gene, but it also causes histone methylation. And what that means is that there's repression of the gene of interest, and there's less RNA and protein downstream. So it's really exciting that we're doing epigenetic gene therapies instead of the traditional editing gene therapies. Actually one of the first indications that we're gunning for the IND is on chronic pain. There's actually people that have a mutation in the sodium channel called NaV1.7 that feel no pain whatsoever. And we were able to demonstrate that by utilizing this technology, we can downregulate this NaV1.7 to have this long-lasting but non-permanent relief of chronic pain. We now have proof of concept in multiple animal models, including inflammatory as well as neuropathic pain. And so as a first indication in the clinic, we'll be focused on erythromelalgia. And these patients have a gain of function mutation in this gene. And what allows us is that with the technologies, we can downregulate the gene, and this will allow us to have pretty much a cure for patients with erythromelalgia. Then the same drug product can be utilized for other chronic pain indications in a phase 3 trial, such as diabetic polyneuropathy or chemotherapy-induced peripheral neuropathy as well. And so that's really what we're really excited about. I believe there hasn't been the drug development that we've seen in other indications, and that's really necessary in chronic pain. We also utilize zinc fingers. They're similar to ZCAS9, but instead of just designing this guide RNA, we design a whole protein. And other indications include retinitis pigmentosa, as well as other neurological disorders that we're really excited about. Just the fact is that there's a lot of potential for epigenetic gene therapies, and we really believe it's the future.
It's very interesting. It looks like you have a very broad applicability for your platform technology in many indications and therapeutic areas. And I assume as a already small biotech company, it's very hard to stay in such a broad focus, right, in different indications. So maybe you are already looking for licensing or co-development partners out there for your therapeutic candidates. Can you tell us a little bit about more? And then additionally, who would be your ideal partner? I also want to inform our listeners that Navega Therapeutics is a BioNeex member and their therapeutic candidate is already listed on BioNeex. So why you believe that BioNeex can be helpful for you on that?
Sure. So yes, we are interested in finding partners. We definitely have really excitement and bringing this technology forward. As I mentioned, we have 2 lead candidates. One of them is for chronic pain and one's for retinitis pigmentosa. We really have currently have the retinitis pigmentosa program under BioNeex. We're interested in finding partners that potentially have expertise in gene therapy or ophthalmology. We know that there's already some gene therapies approved for the eye, and so we believe that our approach actually, which is very universal, it can actually cover over 2 million people with retinitis pigmentosa. Has a lot of potential and will be really exciting for a partner. And really thankful to have the possibility of using the platform such as BioNeex, just because in general, there's really great conferences, but they're not, they only happen for a few days in the year. So by having this platform, we can actually have this enabled ability to look at partners and new partners as they actually see new interest in partners as they show up in the BioNeex platform. So yeah, I think it's a great approach, but so we're really happy to be on your BioNeex platform for sure.
Thank you, Anna. I want to also, tell you a little story that we recently experienced. Some of our drug candidate seeker side, a large company, was mentioning that although they are very interested in a gene and cell therapy, in all these novel technologies, but they are not having the in-house expertise and they do not have a capability to build that. So that's why it would be very important to target an ideal partner. Not only, you believe your technology is great, but also it should somehow fit in their current portfolio.
No, definitely. And I think a lot of innovation is happening in smaller biotech startups. But that partnering really enables to bring things into the clinic. So we're really excited about, preclinical, bringing this forward, but then potentially partnering with someone that has that clinical applicability. But I agree, finding the right partner is imperative, just because, gene therapy is complex and the manufacturing is a complex process. You have to find a partner that understands that and it's willing to kind of go through that with you as well.
So then can you tell us a little bit more about the next major milestone that you as a CEO leading the team towards that to reach?
Of course. So actually, gene therapy, at least how we're approaching it, is as close as you can get to precision medicine. And everything we've optimized so far is for the mouse genome, but now we have to optimize everything for the human genome. So we're currently working on our lead candidates for both the chronic pain as well as the retinitis pigmentosa model. That final lead product is going to actually be administered to patients. And then obviously the big milestone for us would also be the tox studies in non-human primate that we're looking forward to.
Very good. So as you are now having such a, very interesting approach in your platform technology, and you definitely growing the team, can you tell us a little bit more about your current funding situation? Because it always requires more and more money for the company. And what's the next round that the company is currently looking for?
Of course. Yeah. So obviously the big job of the CEO is always fundraising. We actually been really lucky in the sense that we've only been focused mostly on non-dilutive funding. We've gotten over $5 million in non-dilutive funding through the NIH and here in the US grants through the NIH. That's really has enabled us to demonstrate that actual proof of concept in vivo safety also as well in vivo and rodent models. And so we're currently now opening our Series A. and that will enable us to expand the team, bring the we're currently a small team, so expanding the team is important, and also bringing our two lead candidates into IND. So we're very interested in partnering, as well as in essentially finding traditional VCs to lead the Series A.
Thank you, Anna. Actually, I want to also inform our listeners that we launched a couple of months ago our new business initiative with another BioNeex client and partner, which we call BioNeex Investor Access, where we enabling access to our investor network, besides the platform service that connects with the potential licensing and co-development partners. So we select every month the novel drug candidates that listed on BioNeex, and we talk with the CEOs. And Anna, as we talked with you, we would be happy after this interview, to connect you with a couple of our investors, potential investors in a network. And I think this is really unique, and it should be go for next funding for sure.
That sounds really exciting, but yeah, we appreciate it. Warm intros are always the best.
Thank you, Anna. And so I want to ask perhaps my last question. What's the vision of the company? So what do you think, how you want to develop Navega Therapeutics?
Sure. So actually at Navega Therapeutics, we're really excited about tackling common disease. With epigenetic regulation, we can really go beyond rare indications and focus on more common diseases that include chronic pain. So our vision really is to enable gene therapies for common diseases, but also to bring down the cost of gene therapies. So really our vision is to have gene therapies that are at a cost that are more accessible to the user, to the patients, really, So, and I believe that by, having this larger chronic pain indication market and the novelties in manufacturing, we can really enable, the future of gene therapies to be more accessible to patients and to other common diseases. So we're really excited about the potential that we will reach with Navega Therapeutics.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you also for giving such a, amazing vision of the company, that the gene therapy can become, the next way of approaching all type of indications and diseases. And, I personally believe this is what's going to revolutionize entire the industry. Like before it was chemical drugs, small molecules, and then it slowly moved to the biopharmaceuticals, and now it's going towards gene therapy. I think that's the next generation of therapies. So I want to ask you, Anna, I always give a chance to the CEOs to give their message, something else that I didn't get a chance to ask you. So is there anything that you would like to talk and tell our listeners about?
Sure. So, we're really excited about the idea that, like I mentioned, gene therapies are the next generation for common disease, and there's a huge need in chronic pain. So I really look forward to seeing, our therapy actually reach the chronic pain, just because there hasn't been any solution really to help these patients. So yeah, looking forward, if anyone wants to have a conversation about gene therapies or chronic pain drug development, I'll be happy to just have a conversation over coffee.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you very much for being our guest today at BioNeex interview. I want to remind once again, today our guest was CEO and founder of Navega Therapeutics, Dr. Anna Moreno. Navega Therapeutics is a San Diego-based preclinical stage biotech company developing novel gene therapies for neurological disorders, ophthalmic diseases, and chronic pain. Thank you, and we will come again with new BioNeex interview.